10 years ago, my roommate Jake and I graduated college together. Same university, same finance degree, same starting job offers at $55,000 a year. We were best friends, lived together for 4 years, thought we'd have similar lives. Last month, we met for drinks to celebrate the 10-year reunion. I'm sitting there thinking we're going to compare notes on our careers, maybe talk about getting married, normal stuff. Then Jake starts telling me about his weekend. He says he was dealing with a plumbing issue at one of his properties. I say, "One of your properties? You own a house." He laughs and says, "I own 3. Well, technically the bank owns most of them, but I'm building equity. 3 properties. I'm renting a studio apartment in downtown Phoenix for $1,600 a month. Jake owns 3 rental properties worth $950,000 total. We graduated the same day, made the same salary for 10 years. How did our lives end up so different?" I asked him everything, and what he told me explains exactly why some people build wealth while others stay stuck. If you've ever wondered how people your age are buying rental properties while you're struggling to save for one house, stay with me, because Jake's strategy is something almost anyone can copy. My name is Mike, and I make videos about real financial strategies that work for regular people. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. This is what my college roommate did differently that led to completely different outcomes. Let me take you back to 2015. Jake and I are 22 years old. We both get job offers in Phoenix. Same company, different departments, both making $55,000. We're pumped. We decide to get an apartment together to save money. Find a 2-bedroom for $1,400 a month. Split it, $700 each. Perfect. We're both making about $3,400 take-home after taxes and 401k contributions. Paying $700 for rent leaves plenty of money. We're living the dream. Or so I thought. After 1 year, our lease is up. I want to renew. Jake says he's moving out. I'm confused. I ask where he's going. He says he found a room in a house for $450 a month. I'm thinking, why would you downgrade? We have a nice apartment. But Jake says he's trying to save money for a down payment. I tell him I like our place. I'm going to get a 1-bedroom. I find one for $1,200. More expensive, but I want my own space. Jake moves into a room in a house with 2 other guys. Shares a bathroom. Pays $450. Now pause and hit that like button if you've ever chosen comfort over saving money, because that decision right there is where our paths split. And make sure you're subscribed, because this story shows you exactly how small choices compound into massive differences. 2 years go by. It's 2017. Jake calls me one Saturday. Says he just bought a house. I'm shocked. We're 24. He's buying a house? I ask how he afforded it. He explains. He saved $25,000 living in that room for 2 years. Put $20,000 down on a duplex for $210,000. FHA loan. 3.5% down, actually only needed $7,350, but he put down more to lower his payment. He's living in 1 unit, renting out the other unit for $1,100 a month. His mortgage is $1,400 total. The rental income covers most of it. He's paying $300 out of pocket to live in his own house. I'm paying $1,200 to rent. He's building equity. I'm building nothing. I remember feeling like I made a mistake, but I also loved living alone. I had my space, my freedom, no roommates. Jake was still living with someone next door, just happened to be his tenant instead of a roommate. Different priorities. I chose comfort. Jake chose wealth building. For more years pass. It's 2021. We're 28. I get a promotion, now making $75,000. I'm excited. I decide to upgrade my apartment, move to a nicer place for $1,800 a month. I deserve it, right? I'm making good money. Meanwhile, Jake also got promoted to $75,000, but he doesn't upgrade his lifestyle. He's still living in the same duplex unit. But here's what he did with his raise and the equity he built. His duplex appreciated to $280,000. He refinanced, pulled out $40,000 in equity, used that $40,000 as a down payment on a second property, Another duplex for $235,000. Rented both units. Positive cash flow of $400 a month after mortgage, taxes, insurance, everything. Jake now owns 2 duplexes. Lives in 1 unit. Has 3 units rented out. Total rental income, $3,400 a month. Total mortgages, $2,800. Net cash flow, $600 a month. Plus his building equity in 2 properties. Meanwhile, I'm in my nice $1,800 apartment. No equity, no cash flow, just a comfortable place to live. If you're starting to see the pattern, smash that like button right now, because the gap is about to get even bigger. And drop a comment telling me which path you're on, comfort or wealth building. 2 more years. It's 2023. We're both 30. Jake does it again. His 2 properties have appreciated. He refinances property number 2, pulls out $35,000 in equity, buys a 3rd property, a small single-family house for $195,000, rents it out for $1,650 a month. After mortgage and expenses, adds another $250 monthly cash flow. Jake now owns 3 properties worth about $850,000 combined. He has about $280,000 in equity. His total rental income is $5,050 per month. His total expenses, including all mortgages, are $3,800. Net cash flow, $1,250 per month. And is still living in that same duplex unit. Still paying $300 out of pocket after rental income covers most of his mortgage. Me? I'm still renting. Different apartment now. $1,600 for a studio because I downsized when inflation hit and everything got expensive. I have $45,000 saved in my 401k. About $87,000 total in retirement and savings. Not bad. But compared to Jake's $280,000 in equity plus his $1,250 monthly cash flow, I'm way behind. That brings us to last month. 10-year college reunion. We're at a bar catching up. Jake tells me about his weekend fixing plumbing. That's when I learn about all 3 properties. I'm stunned. I say, Jake, how did you do this? We made the same money. I feel like I'm doing okay, but you're on a completely different level. He orders another beer and explains everything. He says, Mike, every time I got a raise, I put it toward the next property, not toward a nicer lifestyle. When we were making $55,000, you upgraded to your own apartment for $1,200. I stayed in a room for $450. That extra $750 a month, I saved it. 2 years, that's $18,000, plus my regular savings. That bought my first property. When we got raises to $75,000, you upgraded to a $1,800 apartment. I kept the same living situation and used my equity to buy property too. Every time my income went up, I bought another asset. Every time your income went up, you increase your lifestyle. I sit there processing. He's right. Every raise I got, I rewarded myself with a nice apartment, better neighborhood, more amenities. Jake rewarded himself with more equity. I chose comfort. He chose wealth. And 10 years later, the results are undeniable. But here's where it gets interesting. Jake says, I'm not smarter than you. I didn't make more money. I just made different choices. And honestly, there were times I was jealous of you. You had your own place. Nice apartment. No tenants to deal with. No maintenance calls at 10 p.m. I wondered if I was making the wrong choice living in a duplex for 9 years. But I kept telling myself, short-term sacrifice for long-term freedom. I asked him what his plan is now. He says in 5 years, when he's 35, he'll have about $450,000 in equity across all 3 properties. Rental income will cover all mortgages completely. He'll have $1,500 per month in passive income. He can either keep building or start living off it. Either way, he's building toward financial independence. Meanwhile, I'm just hoping my rent doesn't go up too much. Hit that like button one more time if you're realizing you've been choosing lifestyle over assets. Because what I'm about to tell you is the most important part. I asked Jake if it's too late for me. I'm 32. Can I still do what he did? He says absolutely. He tells me the strategy. It's called house hacking. Buy a duplex or a house with a basement apartment. Live in one unit. Rent out the other. Let the rental income cover most or all of your mortgage. Live cheap while building equity. After 2 years, refinance or use appreciation to buy the next property. Repeat, it's not complicated. It's just uncomfortable at first. You're living in a duplex instead of a luxury apartment. You're dealing with a tenant next door. But you're building wealth instead of paying someone else's mortgage. That conversation changed my perspective on everything. I realized I've been paying $1,600 a month to live in a studio with nothing to show for it. Jake's been paying $300 a month to live in a duplex while building $280,000 in equity. Over 9 years, I've paid about $150,000 in rent. Gone forever. Jake's paid about $32,000 in net housing costs and built $280,000 in equity. The difference is staggering. So here's what I did. 2 months ago, I bought my first duplex. $245,000. Put 5% down, FHA loan. I'm living in one unit, renting the other for $1,250. My mortgage is $1,600. I'm paying $350 out of pocket. It's weird having a tenant next door after living alone for years. But I'm finally building equity. I'm finally on the path Jake showed me. I'm 10 years late, but I'm on it. Jake told me something that stuck with me. He said, most people choose comfort today over wealth tomorrow. They want the nice apartment, the new car, the lifestyle upgrade. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you value. But you can't choose comfort today and also expect wealth tomorrow. You have to pick. I picked wealth. You picked comfort. Neither is wrong, but the outcomes are different. Now you're picking wealth. And in 10 years, you'll be where I am now. Comment right now and tell me honestly, are you choosing comfort or wealth? Because most people won't admit they're choosing comfort. But your bank account tells the truth. Here's the bottom line. Jake and I graduated together. Same degree. Same starting salary. Same city. We made the same amount of money for 10 years. But Jake owns 3 properties worth $950,000 with $280,000 in equity and $1,250 monthly cash flow. I was renting a studio for $1,600 with $87,000 total saved. The only difference was our choices. Jake chose duplex units over luxury apartments, tenants over privacy, equity over comfort, and it paid off massively. If you're in your 20s or early 30s, you can still do this. Buy a duplex, house hack, build equity, use that equity to buy the next property. Repeat, it's not glamorous. You won't have the nicest apartment, but in 10 years, you'll have assets. Real assets that produce income and build wealth. If this story just showed you a path you didn't know existed, smash that like button one final time and subscribe. Because I'm making more videos about real estate strategies, house hacking, and building wealth through assets instead of just saving. Let's build real wealth together. The kind Jake built. The kind that gives you options and freedom.